In my Bordo paper, I talked about how technology and our dependence on it in the advertisement world is making us both physically and mentally sick. Before, we used to have techniques such as mirror imaging, lighting, backgrounding, or others in order to manipulate photos to make them seem a certain way to our readers, viewers, or audience. Now, we do use some of them such as lighting and backgrounding, but we also use something that we all know as Photoshop. Photoshop allows us to take something unnatural and make it seem more realistic. But that's the problem. We can take something that is completely unnatural in our reality and make it realistic in technology. And with that, it will be hard to decipher which is reality and which is technology. So with that, I want to talk about Kim Kardashian. She is considered as a beautiful woman, but throughout her photo shoot, she has been photoshopped multiple times. Here's an example of one. On this on this side of the photo is the retouch, while this side is the original. As you can see, her waist size were trimmed down, and so were her legs, and a bit of her arm, which is a bit hard to see. Even to the point of her clothing were retouched. Right here, her sleeve has a little bump, while here it's completely smooth. And while right here it's scrunched up, right here, again, it's completely smooth. They even went to the point of lighting up her face to make some features more defined. So with this portrays a beauty of what a woman should be, which is slender, skinny, and dark, but not so dark at the same time. They must have the proper skin tone, apparently. The only thing that the editors and photographers didn't seem to touch or trim down were her breast size, so containing that women must have cleavage or ample breasts, but not so much. Now for men, it's something completely different. While women were trimmed down, it seemed that men were enhanced. In this Justin Bieber Calvin Klein ad, you can see here that this is the retouch while this is the original. His biceps were enhanced, and so were her pecs, abs, and even to the point of his genitals were enhanced. Now this creates men as being muscular, but they have a balance. They have to be muscular to the point where they're not so much like muscles on muscles and not being boyish muscular. They must be muscular enough to be built for sex. And now with these body images, for women and men who cannot fit into them, this causes a mental breakdown for them because some of them have physical attributes that impede them from obtaining these body images. And these are so unnatural that the only way they can happen for some of them is through body surgery. Now, because of this causes depression, maybe even suicide, and most importantly, eating disorders such as bulimia, anorexia, and binge eating that can lead to death. On top of that, it lead to an increase of cosmetic surgery, which is also in danger, meaning people would rather spend thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars for just to fix up their nose or parts of their face to be considered as beautiful rather than be happy with who they are. But what most people don't know is that they're a risk. They can get pneumonia, they can get blood clotting, they can get nerve damage, which is really dangerous and permanent, and it can even lead to death. So what photoshopping is doing is creating this false connotation of what beauty is, and it's making us so uncomfortable and insecure that we feel obliged to have cosmetic surgery, or that it makes us so unstable mentally that we will develop disorders. And because of that, it is making us both physically and mentally sick.